Okay, let's be honest. We've all seen the ads, right? The one with someone sipping a drink on the beach, casually saying, I made $10,000 in my sleep, and you can do it too. And for a second, you're like, wait a minute, am I missing something? Because here you are working your 9 to 5 job, budgeting every dollar, and someone out here claiming that they made your monthly salary while napping. And I used to buy into that dream too. I thought if I found the right passive income stream, I'd be set, laptop lifestyle, financial freedoms to work. But after digging deeper, trying a few of these so-called passive income ideas and watching a lot of people fall into the same pitch, I realized something that no one talks about. Passive income is rarely passive and is often one step away from a scam. So today, I'm pulling back the curtain. We're talking about the misleading promises, the hidden effort behind easy money, and the mindset shift I had to make to stop chasing a fantasy and start building something real. Let's get into it. Number one, the lie we're told. Make money while you sleep. Now let's start with the biggest marketing hook of them all. Make money while you sleep. And it sounds crazy, right? Like, who wouldn't want to wake up richer than they were the night before? And I'll admit it, early on my financial journey, I totally fell for this idea. And I remember binge watching videos about 10 passive income stream. You can start with $0. And I was hooked. The idea of setting something once and then just watching the money roll in. It felt like a cheat code to life. But here's what no one tells you. Most of these so-called passive income streams are either widely overhyped, require tons of work up front, or they're just not as passive. Let's take digital product for example. Everyone say just make an ebook or a course and sell it forever. Sound great, right? But what they don't tell you is that you'll spend weeks writing, designing, editing, marketing, building an email list, creating a landing page, running ads, and then maybe, and I mean just maybe, you make your first sales. And even then, it's not an autopilot. You're still answering email, issuing refunds, updating contents. It's more like semi-passive income with a full-time hustle. Or another one of my personal favorite, affiliate marketing. You think, okay, I'm just going to link to stuff I like. But in reality, you need a platform, an audience, SEO credibility. And if you're not getting traffic, guess what? You're not getting paid, period. So the real scam here isn't that passive income doesn't exist. It's that Raven sold the idea that it's easy, effortless, and instant. And that's the part that trips people up. You're either spend a lot of time up front or a decent amount of money outsourcing it, or even sometimes both. So if you're sitting here wondering to yourself why your FC printable hasn't made you rich overnight, it's not because you're doing it wrong. It's because you've just been misled. So here's my advice. Don't fall for the fantasy. Yes, you can build passive income, but treat it like a business, not a lottery ticket. Go in with realistic expectation, be willing to put in the real effort, and stop comparing yourself to these so-called YouTubers who made $100,000 in their sleep with no context, because chances are they're making most of their money selling you that dream. Number two, passive, not exactly. The work you don't see. Now let's talk about the part of passive income that nobody ever really mentioned. The unseen work. Most people, specifically influencers, love to post their Stripe screenshot or say things like, I made $1,200 in my sleep. But what they're not posting is the 6 months they're spent not making anything at all. The real truth, there is almost always an upfront load. Whether it's time, money, or energy, you're investing something. That blogs that finally bringing in ad revenue, the person probably spent months writing free content, figuring out SEO, designing their website, and trying to rank on Google. That YouTuber you follow who's earning affiliate income, they've been showing up, filming, editing, and building trust with their audience for years. And I remember trying to set up my first passive income stream, selling digital template. I thought I'd upload them once, go to sleep, and wake up with notification. And I'm sure you kind of figure out what happened, right? I spent weeks making the templates, writing product descriptions, figuring out how FC worked, tweaking thumbnails, researching keywords, and then crickets. Not a single sale. Because no one talks about the invincible hustle that comes before the money. And even the more hands-off stuff like investing requiring knowledge and patience, you don't just open a brokerage account and become financially free overnight. You learn, you research, you build over time, and the return is slow but steady. So here's the deal. Passive income can be amazing after the initial work is done, but calling it passive income from day one, that's a scam. It's active income that can become passive later if you set it up right and stick with it. And honestly, that's okay, because I'm not saying don't go for it, but what I am saying is that go in with an open eye. It's better to over prepare and be pleasantly surprised than to under prepare and burn out because things didn't click right. So keep the long game in mind and don't believe the overnight success stories, because most of them took years to make. Number 3, set it and forget it is a myth. Another thing we often hear, specifically from influencers, is that set it and forget it narrative. Because if I had $1 for every time someone claimed you could build a passive income stream and then walk away while it prints money forever, I might just have passive income. But here's the thing. Even the most passive stream requires some kind of maintenance, whether it's updating links, managing customer service, keeping your content relevant, or adjusting to algorithm changes. It's not a one and done situation. Let me give you an example. I once launched a digital product, super proud of it, spent weeks designing, tweaking, packaging it up, writing the sales page, and after I made a few initial sales, I thought, cool, now I can just forget about it. Fast forward 2 months later, sales has completely dropped off. Why? Because I wasn't promoting it. I wasn't talking about it. I wasn't updating anything. It just sat there, silently collecting dust in the corner of the internet. Even stuff like rental income or dividend isn't truly passive. With real estate, you've got maintenance, tenant, taxes, random repair. With investing, you still need to monitor your portfolio, check in your goals, and adjust for market changes. It's not a full-time job, sure, but it's definitely not zero effort. And here's what I've learned. Passive income becomes easier, not effortless. Once you build momentum and set up a smart system, it gets smoother. But there's no magical finish line where you just flip the switch and cash flow endlessly forever while you sip smoothie on the beach. That's the Instagram version. Real life, a little less glamorous, but honestly way more rewarding when you go into it knowing what actually requires. So yeah, build those streams, but don't forget to check in, update, improve, and stay engaged, because that's what keeps them flowing. Number 4, the role of influencers in social media. We've definitely got to talk about the role social media play in all of this, because if you ever scroll past a video title, I make $10,000 a month in passive income with someone casually vlogging from a pool in Bali with a Lamborghini in the back. Let's be real. Social media has romanticized the heck out of passive income. And I get it. I've been drawn by the aesthetic myself. You see someone with a perfectly curated feed talking about how they made a fortune off a $27 ebook or affiliate links. And suddenly, you're convinced you're 2 Canva template away from financial freedom. But here's the thing they don't always tell you. A lot of these influencers, passive income isn't actually their main income stream. Content creation is. The money they're making isn't necessarily from some quiet little digital product chunking away in a background. It's from sponsorships, ad revenue, affiliate links, online course about passive income, and selling you the dream that they already made it. And I'm not saying all of this is fake. There are creators out there doing it ethically and transparently, but there's also a lot of smoke and mirrors too. It's easy to make something look effortlessly when you've already put in the work for years behind the scene, or when you're cherry picking your best month and skipping over the slow ones. Personally, I had to unfollow a few of these accounts for a while. Not because I was bitter, but because it started messing with my expectation. I look at my own progress and feel like I was failing, even though I was actually doing just fine. I just wasn't doing Instagram fine. So if you're in the space, a little advice: take what you see online with a massive grain of salt. Use it for inspiration, fine. But remember, you're building your own path, not replicating someone else's highlight reel. Because at the end of the day, real financial freedom isn't about selling a fantasy. It's about building something that actually works for you. Even if it's slower, quieter, or doesn't come with an ocean view and a drone shot. Number 5, building sustainable income streams. Lastly, after all that, after pulling back the hype and calling out the glossy, I am a 6-figure in my sleep messaging, you might be wondering, well, what actually works then? Great question, because here's the thing. I'm not anti-passive income, not even close. I'm just pro-realistic, pro-sustainable, and definitely pro-long game. For me, building sustainable income has looked a lot less like set it and forget it, and a lot more like plant it, water it, and show up for it. A digital product might earn passively eventually, but creating it took weeks of work. Same with affiliate income. It didn't start rolling in just because I dropped a link in my bio. It came from consistently showing up, building trust, and delivering value before I ever made a single sales. Sustainable income is kind of like minimalist budgeting. It's not flashy, it's not overnight, but it works when it aligns with your lifestyle, your skills, and your actual bandwidth. For example, maybe you build a simple freelance service and over time create a template or a training around it. Boom, eventual product. Start a YouTube channel or a blog, and yes, it takes forever to grow, but one day it's pulling in ad revenue while you sleep. Even something like teaching a skill you know well. It start live, maybe you host it in a few times, and eventually it becomes a self-paced course. Each of those things start active, but with consistency, structure, and a little bit of strategy, they begin to create room. Room for rest, room for other projects, room for your bank account to do a little work without you staring at it 24/7 a day. So here's what I'll leave you with. Don't chase passive income, build sustainable income. Something that aligns with your actual values and grow over time. Something that serves people, not try to sell them a shortcut, because the truth is, most shortcuts are just detours in disguise. And when you focus on building something real, you might just wake up one day, check your balance, and think, wait, this actually worked. Just like that, minus the skinny vibe. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you gain any value, don't forget to like, subscribe, and push the notification bell for more on sustainable fashion, personal finance, and minimalism. And I'll see you guys on my next video.